Andreas, you said that you're tool builder, tool lover, and that career part find you around 2014 with the company, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. I had been working on consumer social for a couple years from 2012 to 2014 at a company called Path. We were building a private social network. And after that, I joined an early team. There's just a few people pre launch called Acompli, and we were building a mobile email calendar product. And the idea was to combine email, calendar, files, contacts, and search across all of your accounts. So work and personal. We were agnostic. So it didn't matter if you were using like Gmail, Office 365, Dropbox, worked across everything. And yeah, I got inspired by what the team was cooking up. It was pre launch, but the idea of saving people time and making them more efficient on the go was pretty compelling. I think that is what got me into more productivity tools was just seeing people and their reaction to being able to send files really easily when they were traveling, being able to respond faster, find things across like different accounts, like yeah, so that was sort of, I guess, the first wave of like business productivity. And around that time, like Slack was just coming about. I remember switching from like HipChat to Slack with our team. Um, and really cool products were being built around that time.
What do you think is the new productivity wave?
The new productivity wave, AI is changing everyone's workflows. So no matter what you're working on at any point in time, you're probably using AI whether you know it or not. So when it comes to proofreading content, coming up with outlines, new ideas, could be for a deck, for email. Now image generation is getting really good, so you can create content within seconds now. There's so many great models out there, like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion and Flux and Dali, of course. It's kind of changing the way everyone works, and these tools will just become ubiquitous, like in all of your workflows and embedded into pretty much every product that you're using across every productivity suite. You see Microsoft and Google and the big incumbents, Amazon, putting these services into every aspect of their stack, but you're going to see every startup and private company unicorn doing the same. It's not just like from an end user standpoint. It's even on the build side, improvements to like GitHub Copilot, for example. So, whether you're writing code or you're a copywriter or you're generating content for, say, a marketing campaign, which is what Typeface does. It increases their productivity around text and image generation. So, previously you would have to come up with a lot of different variations for testing. And with a product like Typeface, you can create images, you can create text across many different channels within seconds or minutes, depending on like what you're generating. Completely changing the way people think about their workflows for marketing and brand. If you're on the development side, you're going to be using tools like GitHub Copilot and other emerging tools to help you improve your efficiency in writing code. And on the design side, like Figma's doing some pretty cool stuff on their AI stack that's helping designers come up with ideas. And so, yeah, it really, I think that's the whole new wave, not surprisingly, is integrating these technologies across all of these different workflows and products. And
In your career, you changed from product builder, but a lot of your roles lately have been related to product in the leadership sense, like uniting people around the mission of the product. How is AI impacting that role, that side of the table?
I think the toughest part of building an early stage company and finding product market fit is knowing what to focus on and what to build, because you can go in so many different directions. And especially with AI, there's so many possibilities when you're looking at, what your team can prioritize and build over the next like quarter, 2 quarters, or the next year. And I think the most important thing to think about is what unique advantages your team has for the problem that you're trying to solve. One of the things that I found really interesting about the big models that have been created and iterated on over the last year and a half is they're all becoming pretty good across the board and comparable. There are going to be like quantum leaps in the way that some of these models interact from a product development standpoint. Like every week there is something new. The market's clearly moving really, really fast. And one week I noticed that Midjourney is better than Google Imagine on generating people. The reverse happens, right? Claude has been amazing at writing, but then I feel like Foro is giving me better responses and better writing styles. So I have multiple tabs open. It's kind of amazing how, depending on the week or the day, they're all getting better, and one might be better than the other at any given point. Looking at product development and leveraging those models around image and text generation, you really need to know what your team is advantaged and look at where your product, your vision can differentiate from what else is out there, and like how you can execute on that with your team. Some teams are much more research oriented. Other teams are much more user experience oriented. They might have a founder that's more experienced in building like front end experiences for people. That's a completely different set of experiences and skills than a more research oriented company that's like building foundational models. As a builder, like you really need to zero in on like what are the biggest strengths of your team, what are you guys really good at? And every company has like advantages based on like their founders experience, based on their team's experience. If you're a company that's got a lot of people who've been building uh, cross-platform experiences and is really like design oriented and ships a lot of beautiful products and experiences, the idea of trying to build like a foundational model with that skill set is a little far fetched, and vice versa. And then looking at the market, like what are other companies building? How are you different than these other companies? What sets you apart? How can you win? And that can change over time. And where you think you can fit in and like differentiate and like crack a niche. I think every first time founder has like fallen into this trap, which is thinking of an addressable market that's too big right out of the gate. Who is your core? What does a happy state look like for them? Like, how are they working now? And how can you build something that caters to their needs and like gets them to that end state? And, you know, really work backwards from there.
Andreas, thank you. If I have to sum it up, looking for ways how to use AI to enhance your own expertise instead of trying to catch up on something that is maybe soft or somebody else is better at. And the other aspect of it is if you're the builder, solving problems for people that are major and have emotional implications, understanding them deeply will allow to build something meaningful.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that.